Greetings, Internet, and welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This is episode 2 of my Battle Hymn first mission playthrough, and we're just starting into rounds, hence why on the chart this is round 1. We have this Japanese unit here, I've called him Pekin, and he has appeared at the top of a tree, and he's a sniper, and he's earned me 1 victory point, and he has... well, surprised, but not necessarily ambushed Flores, because the actual instruction didn't mention anyone who's got advantage. So we're going straight into the round with no knowledge of who's, what's, where, and where. Now, the sequence is the same as in ambush, which you have a US awareness phase in the first 2 rounds. Then you have an event phase from the second round onwards. Then you have the action round. You've got to determine who's got initiative and the action marker replacements. And then you've got to perform all the soldier actions in order. So let's go over. That's the sequence of it. So we've got Flores in this palm tree, and then we have the rest of his team, Alpha team. And then we have the Beta team, which is technically the fire team, behind him. So let's shift over. We'll shift the scale, because we want to have now a look at the battle round chart. And as I say, for the Japanese soldiers, the first time, so obviously it's the first time I played this, but also to have an initiative 0 enemy, which is unusual. Okay, so we've got an action sequence. And the first one, as I say, is US awareness. So this is where we go through any US soldier that can see this guy. So I've got to determine line of sight. How far can you see in palm trees? It's a good starting question. I believe it's 2 hexes, but let me just double check. Okay, so anyone who's going to be following along, I'm looking at rule 8.2, blocking terrain, under the heading palm trees. If both sighting and target hexes are at the same elevation, a line of sight can be traced through 2 palm tree hexes into a 3rd hex, whether the 3rd is a palm tree or not. The sighting hexes are at different elevations. The line of sight is blocked if the line of sight enters a hex adjacent to either the sighting or target hex containing palm tree, and then it goes on. What I need at this elevation is all my guys can see that hex, because they're all within 3 of the target hex. So I'm going to be testing. I'll test them in this order downwards. So we have going first. He has a perception of 7, and he rolls a 0. Well, yeah, 0 is low in this system. So low is good. So he's aware. Then we have Clark, and he's got a perception of 5. He rolled a 6. So no, he's unaware what's going on. Then we have Baldwin, who has a perception of 6. He rolls a 3, so he does. Okay. Then we have Flores himself. He's got a perception of 3. He rolls a 9. He was, if you watched the previous episode, he was sitting under that palm tree having a cigarette. Okay. Then we've got Evans. Sorry, he's got a perception of 4, and he rolls 4. Where is his counter? There it is. Then we have his name, Davis, perception of 3. He rolls a 7. Nope. Okay, so then we have Hibbert, perception of 1. Rolls an 8. He ain't got a clue. And then Gomez, the other Spanish person, got a perception of 2, and he rolls a 6. Okay, so how many men do we get in it? 1, 2, 3. Not great. Not great at all. Okay, so after we've rolled for that, the next thing that happens in the actions PC check, right. Event phase doesn't happen. So we're now into the action round, and we've got to roll perception. Sorry, initiative. Determine which side has the advantage by rolling 2 dice. I'm pre-designated. Well, I have a red dice and a green dice, so we know which one's which. And if the results are equal, advantage goes to the Japanese. So roll dice. Japanese roll 2, and the Americans roll 7. So Americans have advantage. That's good. That's a good start. Right. And with those 2 rolls, I determine where these chits go. So let's zoom in a little bit on that. Oops. Right, okay. So a roll of 7. Now, I'm not going to go through how this all works. You're not sure? All right, all right. I hear. Yeah, maybe some people are not interested in ambush, are interested in battle hymns. So, this is the soldiers. I was going to say initiative, but it's not. What's the IN stand for? Is it? Oh, blimey. I forgot what. I haven't been playing this game for so long. I forgot what the IN stands for. Not their intuition. Come on, help me out, guys. It is initiative. I was right. Just didn't see that. Anyway, okay. So we look now for Alan's initiative rating on here with a 7, and he has the advantage. So you've got 2 settings for each turn. You've got the advantage line and the disadvantage line. Advantage line, disadvantage line, and then the panic line. So we're looking for this guy's number 7. He's going to get 2 turns, as shown by the actual number 7. Just that little dinky thing there. So that goes on there. What are the red numbers for? Well, that's where there's a chance of panicking. Has it got a little red number around it? You ain't got any chance of panicking. Not from this anyway. Then, yeah, it's Baldwin. Baldwin, with his 7, there is a chance of him panicking on there. It's red. So I'm still going to put it there, and then we'll work out from there what happens. And then Evans, with a 7, he's only going to get 1 turn. The rest of them don't do anything. They're like completely unaware. When we look at the Japanese who roll a 2, oh, that's not used to initiative 0 troops. Okay, so he actually panics. Because notice his number 2 is on there. Now, if you roll, let's say you rolled a 3, okay, he'd be the disadvantage row, which is along this one here. So he'd be in that box there. If that had been all right, let's give another. Let's say he rolled a 4. There we go. That's an easier example. His number would have been in red, but the Japanese do not, or the enemy it's got the same setup as the ambush side. The enemy do not panic from red numbers in here, but they do panic if the number is in there, any side. So he's actually going to panic. Interesting. Okay. Also notice it's 0 and 2. The number 1's not there because the number 1's there. All right. So he's up a tree. My Flores has gone up to that tree. Sneaky. Thinks he can grab a quick smoke, not realizing you can see up to 3 hexes in the jungle. Whilst he's having a smoke, the Japanese at the top there realize he's only armed with coconuts, as determined in the picture in the prior episode. He's obviously got a gun, but yeah. So he's panicked, maybe because he's seen 8 gung-ho Marines and he's on his Todd. Right now, the other thing we're going to look at is this guy here. His number was in red. It's a 7. Does he panic? Well, this is where the command system comes in. Okay, so going back to over here. Anyone with the 2 hexes of him will actually give him their initiative as a morale boost. You've got to have, to be in command, 5 initiative points within your hex or from a commander. Now, the commander himself, he has an initiative, Baldwin has an initiative of 3, but he's stacked with Davis, who gives him 2, and Hibbert and Gibbs, who gives him an additional 1 each. What I just need to double check is, because those guys are unaware, can they still give him his points for, because if it says only aware soldiers, so I just need to check that part. All right, so to help in command, you've got to be an active US soldier. An active soldier is a soldier that hasn't been incapacitated, killed, or captured. So being unaware doesn't mean that you don't help towards command control. So that guy is not panicked. That's the end of that little problem there. Okay, so that's the action chart. And then we will go to the next part of the sequence is, I'm just going through it, reminding myself of this, I just recently done AR marker placement, so we've done that. Those are the AR markers, that means action round markers. And then we have to roll for the Japanese, but he's panicked. And we only actually determine when he goes when we need to get to his chart. So we'll find out what happens to him if he gets there. So now so we start at the top of the chart here. And then we go through this. Well, there's no one in this one. Then we'll do him. And then this row, no one in, and then we'll do this. When it comes to, these get 2 turns in this action round. I can determine which one of these I want to go first and second and so on. If there was multiple Japanese on the same row, they go in alpha order. So, yeah. I'm still not sure about, do I roll his, I mean, he's not going to get an extra round because he's panicked. So, and it does, I remember reading that in the ambush rules, that you roll for it when when you get to their actual row, what actual number this goes to. So you can't preempt what they're going to do. Okay, so we know we've got, hello. So the 2 squad leaders or team leaders are aware. Okay. Now, one of the actions that Alan can do is he could make Flores aware. Commanders in US where a commander can spend a turn to make an unaware US soldier within his command radius aware. The newly aware soldier's AR marker is then placed in the complete space. A wounded soldier can never be made aware in this manner. Okay, so that's what he's going to do. For his first action, he is going to make Flores aware. Oi, put that fag butt out. There's a Jap just above you. So that will make him go to there, and that will bring Flores into the complete box. And you're thinking, well, why have I done that? Because that means Baldwin could use his action. Oh, well, he's not within 2 hexes, but he could move him now into there. Or when Alan goes again, he can move him up. So he gets an action. And also next round, when we roll everybody's perception again, and Flores has failed again, at least won't have to have that issue. So what we're doing now, Baldwin, does he take a shot or does he move? He's 3 hexes away. So what's the effect of shooting through these palm trees? Okay, so firing through the palm trees is -1 to the fire for each hex pass through. For each palm tree hex fired through, subtract 1 from the fire combat table for a total maximum of -2. You don't get any minus for firing into the actual hex, so it'd be -1 for that hex and -1 for that hex if he decides to fire. and I can't see why he wouldn't want to fire. He's not within command range. Command range is 2 hexes. He's not in command range of Flores, so he can't give him another turn or give him a turn. So he might as well. Should I move him? No, let's give him fire support. Okay, so Baldwin is armed with a semi-automatic rifle, and he has a weapon skill of 0. And I am now bringing. Do we have charts and tables? Miscellaneous tables. Let's see what we've actually got on here. Combat resolution table. Oh, we do have it. Okay, the combat resolution table. I'm not going to bring this up for every shot, but he's armed with a semi-automatic rifle. And I notice this hasn't been erraticized and corrected for the automatic rifle. Those figures are actually different in the errata. If anyone's wanting to play along with this and they haven't got the errata, those values are for medium range 10 to 16 and long range is 17 plus on the auto rifle. But anyway, we're armed with a semi-auto rifle. Short range is 2 to 6. So we know it's a short range shot because he's within 3 hexes. So then we look up. That gives me a short range shot. That's an attack value of 5. Okay. The next thing I look at is what's the terrain modifier. Now, Japanese unit. No, he says. I'm assuming they're not standing at the top of the tree. So maybe I should have put them crouching. Let me just check palm tree. Standing at the top of a palm tree. Yeah, he's crouching. He can never stand and never go prone. So let's just do that. Let's put him into crouch mode. There we go. Right. So, so he's crouching and he's classed at level 2 in the hex. The soldier on top of the tree is going to be in an adjacent hex at level 2, and it can never stand or fall. The soldier in a palm tree top can drop grenades or satchel charges or coconuts on soldiers occupying the same hex in the base of the tree. Use a tree top grenade. Right, okay. If a soldier in a palm tree top is incapacitated or killed, there's a 50% chance he will drop his weapon. US soldiers cannot climb palm trees. Why can't US soldiers climb palm trees? These are bloody Marines. Surely they can climb a palm tree. So that would mean a whole extra rule set. Okay, so it's classed at level 2. So does that mean actually Baldwin can't see him? Going back on that line of sight, it did say at the same level. Right. If the sighting hexes are at different elevation, the line of sight is blocked if the line of sight enters a hex adjacent to either the sighting or target hex containing palm trees at the same elevation. A palm tree hex that is adjacent to the sighting or target hex but at a lower elevation does not block. The line of sight passes over the top of the block. For each palm tree, right, that's a +1. Grenades can be thrown into an adjacent palm tree, but never through a palm tree. In addition, grenades, yeah, that's okay. All right. I'm not sure I can actually see there then. If the sighting hexes are at different elevations, the sighting hex is at the same elevation. It's just that on top of the tree is right. Okay. I'm going to rule, if any of you can let me know, am I making that as a cock-up? But I think he can see because the hex is at the same elevation as Baldwin. Anyway, going back to that chart, the first thing I've got to check before I even really go through this is actually check to see if my weapon jams. So again, I'm looking at the non-automatic. It's a semi-automatic rifle. Got a little dinky 1 there. What does a little dinky 1 mean? It'll tell me what the little dinky number 1 means. Also used to resolve the effects of destroyed wall. We don't have to worry about that then. Can't see a wall, can you? Okay, so then on here, there's two numbers, both is 5%. The little AS stands for if I'm going into auto mode or snapshot, it's still a 5% chance. Now, it says 5%. In actual fact, that's 6%. Why, I hear you ask? Well, because when you're rolling the percentage dice, 0 is not 100. It is 0. So on my percentage die, I've got a black one and I've got a white one, black being tens and white one being numerals. A 0 is not 100, which in most games it is actually 0. So therefore, my gut weapon would jam on a 0 through to 05, which is actually a 6% chance. Right, anyway, enough waffle. Roll 64, so that it ain't jammed. So then going back on we know it's a short range shot, so it's starting with an attack value of 5. Then we look at the terrain that these dude is in. He is in the palm tree and he's crouching, and that gives a modifier of palm tree crouching is -2. Okay, that takes a 5 to a 3, and then we know there's 2 palm trees in the way, which takes it to a 1. So Mr. Baldwin, who's only got weapon skill of 0, will only hit on a 0 or a 1. And he rolls a 6. No, he didn't actually hit. So I'll tell you what, hold on there. Downloaded them, I might as well use them. I use them in ambush. So let's have a... Oh no. There we go. Got the sound effect. Didn't mean to bring that up, but I'm going to bring that down the side. So there we go. So we'll do that again. That rings out. But it's a miss. Okay, and that's his action done. So I'll bring that down the bottom there. Didn't mean to bring that up in the display, but hey ho. So yeah, that was not so good. So we now move Baldwin down from here to here. So first turn of this action round has been done. So now we're back to this lot. So I'm going to use his turn, his second turn, to get him to give a command to Flores. Give him Flores now 1 turn. Okay. Now with Flores having a turn, we're now going to get him to do a shot. It's got to be within 2 X's for command. He is definitely within 2. So Flores gets a shot. Let's bring back up the weapon chart. Flores is armed with semi-automatic rifle. Oh, I forgot to check for ammo expenditure for Baldwin. Okay, so going back on there, the last thing I should have checked was that 25. That means there's a 26%. Remember, 0 is 0. So there's a 26% chance that he actually used a clip. So I rolled 22. So he did actually use an ammo clip. So I'm going to put a little cross through that to show he's already used 1 ammo clip. They come armed with 3 ammo clips and 2 grenades. So that was Baldwin. Put cross through there. Okay, so Flores going through the same sequence. Okay, first of all, we've got to determine if his weapon jams. And say he's armed with the same weapon. So he rolled 43. His weapon doesn't jam. But now he is in the same hex. But it's not classed as... Oh. It's classed as an adjacent hex at level 2. So, okay. So we're going to put it in it says adjacent. So it drops from an 8 to a 6. So I'll have to actually climb up the tree, which we're not allowed to do. So therefore, it's a 6 is his base. Flores has got a weapon skill of 0 as well. But we're not firing through any adjacent trees, but we know firing at a guy crouched is -2, so it's a 4. required to hit. And Flores rolls a 3. So boom, 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 boom. He does hit him. Or why do I go boom, boom, boom? And we'll do that again. I've got myself up the top of the tree. Okay, so that's a hit. Next, what we do is determine what the damage is. So we're looking at semi-automatic rifle again, and then we roll another D10, and low is good. Sorry, high is good. Oh, this is the reverse of the ambush table, which has it the other way. Okay, all right. So he's rolling, and he rolls a 4, which is wounded. Right, so the Japanese soldier's wounded. All right, and then the last thing we do is ammo expenditure, and he rolls a 42, so he didn't expend a clip to do that. Right, so the Japanese soldier is wounded. Now, what happens then? Hey, right, so a soldier that is wounded immediately falls prone. However, in a palm tree, soldier in a palm tree can never be prone on top of the marker. Ooh, a soldier in a palm tree can drop grenade. Yeah, okay. Crouching and can never stand or fall prone. So he's fall prone because he's wounded. He can't fall prone. Does that mean he falls out the tree? I've looked at the rule. I've looked at the errata. It doesn't actually say. But if he's not allowed to fall prone, I'm going to rule. I can't find anything that says he can't be wounded up the tree because it tells him to fall prone. Even the panic which was coming up, you're not allowed, because panic, the last state you go into when you panic is you fall prone. So, or does he just stay up there in a crouch? The soldier on top of the tree is supposed to be adjacent at level 2, crouching in cover, and can never stand or fall prone. Does he fall down, or does he stay in there? You know, I'm going to let the dice decide, because that doesn't really cover that, which seems a bit strange, but yeah, it doesn't say. Does he fall out the tree, or I'm going to make it a 50-50. So yeah, that's 50-50. It's actually 49 and below. He falls out the tree. Okay, I've rolled 18. He falls out the tree. And I'm going to do that each time that happens. He's fallen out the tree, and he gets a wounded marker. Markers, wound areas. And also prone. There it is. And I'm going to put Flores on the top. Can't remember if I rolled for. I did roll for ammo. He didn't run out, so he's fine. Okay. So that's Flores' turn. And he's now complete. Now, if Baldwin was in command range, he could give him another action. But unfortunately, he's not. So what's Baldwin going to do? So we have a wounded Japanese soldier. To fire again is a plus what we could fire into the hex, but no, he's going to move forward. Or is he? Yeah. Okay. Well, we know these hexes are free from Japanese because we move through them. The Baldwin does his free stance change, and he will stand up. Because when they're crouched, they can only move 1 hex per turn. So, moving through palm trees, what is the movement cost through a palm tree? It's 1. So he will go 1, 2. He could even enter the hex. but he won't. No, he won't. And he could snap fire. Snap fire, he's used half his movement, so he will snap fire onto the Japanese soldier. So it's yeah. Let's do that. Bringing up that weapon chart again. Okay, so it's semi-automatic rifle. First thing we've got to do is, does his weapon jam? He rolled 14. No, he's fine. Then it's adjacent now, is a 6 rather than a 5 to hit. 6, his weapon skill 0. And the guy is now prone, which makes it a little bit harder to hit him. Palm tree prone -3. So it's 6 take away 3 is 3 to hit. And I rolled a 2. So he does hit. And ammunition 64. He's okay. Should have done the wound determination. So he's still in that row there. Rolled a 4 again. That's another wound. 2 wounds on that Japanese soldier makes him incapacitated. That effectively takes him out of action. So he didn't even get a go. All right, so let's remove the wound counter. Delete that. And thank you for your participation in today's events. So what actually happens here, he now goes to inactive. As soon as they're either incapacitated, killed, or, what's the third one, captured, they become inactive. And when that's Baldwin done. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about the snapfire modifier. Okay, made a mistake. Right, hold on there. I think I actually missed. It was 6. Bringing back that chart. Yes. 6. Firing on a prone guy makes it 6 take away 3 is 3. And then snapfire is -2. Yes. What is diffusing snapfire? -2. So therefore I needed a 1. Right. Okay. Rewind. In a different part of the universe. That was a miss, Mr. Baldwin. So we bring that guy back up to there. Sorry, guys. And if any of you were watching going, yeah, he's not incapacitated. He's wounded. And still prone. The prone saved him. Okay. Right. So Baldwin's done, so he's still in. So that now leaves Evans to do something. Where is Mr. Evans? He's there. So he could close assault that Japanese dude. So let's do that. So he stands up with his free stance change and will charge into the hex. So you can do this with half his movement value. So it's 1, 2. Then charges the Japanese soldier. So we're into the close assault resolution. Miscellaneous tables. Do we have no, not that one. Combat resolution tables. Let's get rid of that. Can't find all my tables. Okay, so there's only one of those. And modifiers, we don't have a right. So he's got it at the hex, so it's an assault. That means he needs a 7, but because he charged, that's a +3 modifier. So here's the modifiers here. Fire combat grenade. It doesn't actually put modification for assault combat. There we go. -3 for making a charge assault. Yeah, not +3 makes it harder to. If the assaulting soldier is wounded, no. -1 or -2 if a target soldier has a weapon skill of +1 or +2. Target soldier has a weapon skill of -1. Okay. And target soldier not panicked or wounded. Target soldier is, so if the target soldier has a weapon skill of +1 or +2. Evans has a weapon skill of -1. Okay. The target soldier weapon skill of +1 or +2 respectively. And so no, that doesn't apply. Because the Japanese has got a weapon skill of -1. Soldier has a weapon skill of +1 or +2, respectively, and target soldier is not panicked or wounded. This modification is not applied if target soldier is unaware you or target soldier. Japanese soldier activated by the activated by the entry of it. No, it wasn't activated by the entry. +1 if assaulting soldier has a knife. +2 if soldier has a saber. That only applies to Japanese. That's also in the errata. And assaulting soldier's weapon skill. As I say, Evans got a weapon skill of -1. Okay. So that makes it +1 to the actual roll. So we've got net -3, +1, net -2. No, we're making it. Well, I'm going the wrong way around here. Okay. -3 for charging assault, -1 for Evans' weapon skills, -4. But the Japanese guy has a weapon skill of -1, which gives me +1. So it's -3. Okay. And the target number is 7. I've rolled an 8, so that takes that out of the equation already. All right, so we carry on into round, because what happens now is Evans drops to there. The Japanese guy is panicked. If you're panicked, you fall prone. He's already prone. Okay, I don't think there's any other effect of panic at this point. You effectively don't get around. Panic. Yeah, he just goes prone at the bottom of the hex. So that's him done. So we've completed round 1. Round 2. But I'm going to end this video here. Would have been nice to have actually finished it. I made a mistake corrected. So let's bring it back up to the top for me to discuss a little bit what's going on. Okay, so as I said in previous, I'm trying to keep these videos quite short, sharp, and so on. It means it'll take more videos, but at least they don't go rambling on and on and on. So we had one action round. I explained a bit of the command, how that works, how the actual action track works. I've done a lot more detail on those specifics. If you want to look at those, you'll have to go through the playlist and see the ambush on how that actual action track works. So yeah, guy falls out of the tree or not. You'd have thought that would be, and it wasn't even in the errata. It just says prone guy or standing can't be in the palm tree. Okay, now going prone is a result of combat. Doesn't say if he falls out or not. So I'm going to keep that little. Is it a house rule? Don't know. But every time that happens, we're all like 50-50 chance that he can somehow keep it wounded, being prone in the tree from a wound, 50% or below, whatever, 49, or he falls out the tree. Well, he fell out the tree. So we had a little bit of an assault. That didn't work. We fired him. He's wounded. Therefore, he's still active for next turn or the next round, which we'll do in the next video. Anyway, enough waffle from me. If you could do me the favor of liking, subscribing, and any comments, much appreciated. But until next time, play games, have fun. Bye, Internet.